Let Kashmiris decide. You don't have to have any propaganda about it. If your narrative is correct, it'll show up. If our narrative is correct, it will show the guns.
To the atrocities.
So far, according to the most credible international human rights agencies, the data is that over 100,000 people have been killed since 1990. Between 89 and 90, that's when it started in earnest. There were 6,000 people who have disappeared, and they are in mass graves.
6,000?
6,000. They have been made to disappear.
And that was when?
Since 1990.
Since 1990.
1990. And this is also by Amnesty International and every Asia Watch and others. They all know it. And United Nations Human Rights Council knows it. In these 30 years, everybody, I'm just not exaggerating it, almost everybody has been either personally touched within their family or have had multiple family members killed or lost a friend or friends. Nearly every Kashmiri living or visiting Kashmir, living in or visiting Kashmir to see their family, has encountered humiliation and indignity at the hands of the Indian forces. Local police sometimes does it, but it's mostly Indians. It happens at the military checkpoints when you are going to your home or going to marketplace. It can happen on the roadside. It can happen inside your own home. I don't want to speak about my family because there are too many that have died. And it's very close family members. There is no sacred space left in Kashmir for Kashmiris.
Wow.
There is no sacred space.
And
back when I was younger, they were in military camps, but now they are in your localities, on the streets, everywhere. At least 900,000, maybe 1 million soldiers. People are unarmed, they are civilians, they take pre-teen boys, they take girls. There are people in prisons, women. Asia Andrabi is one of the ones. Her husband and her, they've been in prison for years and years. Their son is now, I think, 19 or 21 years old. Had a dinner with his mom and dad. And his mom and dad have never picked up a gun. These are political leaders. The ratio of military or armed forces to civilians is 1:8. Within the valley where they're controlling, there are 8 million people living within the valley, which has been surrounded, which is under siege. And there are about 1 million people, Indian security forces. And so you can see the scale of the atrocities that they must be perpetrating.
One major event where last year's August 5th, taking away 370, Article 370. So how has they say from their narrative, things have gotten better. We know that is not true. So I wanted to hear your perspective, what happened from August 5th of last.
One is our own personal experience and the anecdotes. And we talked to our families, even though there is no 4G there, it's only 2G. Since last year, pretty much all schools have been closed for 1 full year.
Wow.
That is preceding COVID, since August 5th last year. For months, there was not even 2G. Internet was completely snapped. Okay. We could not, for the first few weeks, talk to our family. Even on the landlines were snapped. There was no WhatsApp. There were no phone lines that were working. Kashmir was almost in abyss at the time for us.
Nobody allowed to go from outside, no communication
from
inside.
Yes, you could not go in, you could not come out at that time. Whenever anybody speaks, you are picked up. You write a post, or you write an article, you will go to prison.
Wow. Fear.
Not only in Kashmir, but even those journalists that are inside India, they dare not write anything that's directly critical of India.
And international media is not allowed to go in.
International media are not allowed to go in. The American Red Cross is not allowed to go in. No human rights agencies from outside can go in. People are locked inside it's a martial law, a curfew, pretty much all the time. And since the COVID came, it has gotten even worse. That has given India an excuse to shut people inside. In the hospitals, many of the people that go to hospitals, I just spoke with somebody this morning, about a couple hours ago. He said people don't want to go to the hospitals. Number one, they lock their families away in some concentration camp. Number two, about everybody after age 60, 70 really never gets out of there.
Really?
Yeah, there is one, I think, ventilator for 70, it was 70,000 people or something. There are no ventilators. There are no PPEs. Testing is sloppy. People are under tremendous strain.
They're left to die, or
They are left to die.